Hi, I'm Chef Tim Belanger. I'm a part-time instructor at George Brown College and a professor, also a food service consultant in the food service industry. Today I am going to be doing some smoking again. Again, last week I've actually did brisket, and the week before I did baby back ribs. It's all on my YouTube channel, Chef Tim Belanger. And again, today I have my big green egg here, and I'm going to just show you how to get started with this. I do have a little sweet potato in here. It seems fairly almost cooked, so I'm going to be taking that off, and it's going to our four-legged friend later on today. So again, I have the grill here. I have charcoal already started. It's roughly around 400 degrees, so I'm good. I have an offset plate setter here that I'm going to put in here, and then I also have some water to catch the drippings. And today we are going to be doing a brine chicken for this recipe itself, and we'll be going through that shortly. But I'm going to get this set up, and then we'll go inside and do the rub and talk about the brine. While I'm out here, I'm going to set up the barbecue also. Today, because we are doing chicken, I'm only use one type of wood, and today I'm going to be using a wonderful apple. Again, just going to put that in the middle to give a little bit of smokiness to that charcoal. I'm going to take my plate setter, and I'm going to flip that over, and I'm going to put that down in the middle. So that way there, it's going to diffuse the heat directly on that, and I don't want that. Again, we're going to get some water in there to keep everything nice and moist, and also keep the drippings away from the pan itself, and we don't have flare-ups. So again, I'm just going to put this on top, and because I am doing chicken today, I want to raise them up a little bit higher, so that way there we get a little bit more color on the top of our breasts, so get a little bit more crispiness. So I use this razor right here. Okay, so we're going to go inside and do the brine now. Hi, I'm got the barbecue all set up, ready to go, and I talked about a brine. Because we're doing chicken today, we want to do a brine with the chicken. A couple things helps with a brine itself. We have a simple brine here. It's simple water, and you add some salt, and you add some sugar, and you can add some spices to whatever you want. And what's going to happen with the brine, it's going to help moisten up the whole chicken itself, and also pulls away the blood from the joints itself. Because sometimes when you're cooking chicken, especially smoking it, sometimes you will still have some red or pinkness around the joints of the carcass, and some people think it's still raw. It's perfectly cooked, but it does look a little bit undercooked if you have those joints red. So they've been brining for the last 4 hours, so now they're ready to do a rub. So today we are going to do a simple rub. We are going to do this as I do every week with my different rubs. I have different components, but always sugar, organic, salt, pepper, very important, and a little lemon pepper. We have some chili powder. We have some wonderful paprika. We have onion, and we have garlic. Usually people have garlic salt and onion salt also. I find if you're doing that, your brines or your, not your brines, but your ribs can become a little salty. So we don't have that. So we have a little bit of wonderful poultry seasoning there. And then we have some cumin and some wonderful cayenne pepper. So we're going to all blend that together. And this is going to make our rub. Okay, we have our rub ready to go. We have our 3 brine chickens here ready to go also. So a couple of things we need to do. They already come trusting from your butcher shop or from your purveyor, but I'd like to take that apart and actually redo it myself. Again, I'm just going to take my tips and fold them back a little bit, breaking them so that they're in the back here. Again, so that way there we can have them fold up nicely on our product. So again, I'm going to give it a nice general rub down here. Again, flipping these back underneath so that way they're flat. Okay, so again, I'm going to get these underneath here so that my chicken can lay flat. I do have the cavity itself that I'm going to now add some seasoning to. Be generous all the way across, and making sure that I have it all the way around. Okay, these little tips are not cooperating with me, so I will just keep on going. Okay, so now I have my chicken and I got a lot of the seasoning on that. I'm going to truss it. So again, I'll get it underneath the Pope's nose, up around the legs, so that there's a figure 8. Then I pull this across, nice and tight, underneath. Keep on going. Again, those tips. And usually if there is a piece of the neck here, that's where I like to tie it up underneath here, so that way there it stays all nice and tight. Again, I'll just tighten up that wonderful product itself right here. Again, underneath, so that I can get the tips underneath there, so that way there it stays in place, and I can put it on my wonderful barbecue and it's ready to go. So I have seasoned all 3 birds and I trussed them so they're nice and tight. Again, I do have video on doing trussing a chicken on my YouTube channel, so if you want to have a look at that. Again, we did the rub, but first of all, most importantly, we did a brine for 4 hours, and then we did the rub. We put that on. Our barbecue's on and going, so we're going to put that on shortly on the barbecue and get up for the next shot. Okay, so we're back outside. We're have everything set up. We have our diffuser, our plate setter, diffuse the heat so we don't have direct heat. We have bins for water to get the dripping, and I brought this tier up so that way there we get some more color on our skin itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the breasts in the middle, so that way there the heat will come around and get the legs first, and then the breast itself. So again, I have this in here, and now it's going to go down. And just checking, that friends might be a little tight there. So I'm a little concerned that with 3 chickens, I've never done with 3 chickens on before. I usually do 1, and I find that it might be a little bit too much for the top. So again, because when they cook, the chickens will expand, and I do not want it to stick to the root or the top of my smoker here. I don't want that. Okay, don't try that at home, kids, because I'm a trained professional and my hands are like asbestos and I can pick up hot things. Okay, so again, I'm going to close this off, and I'll be checking my temperature shortly. So I've given it roughly around 15 minutes just to see exactly the smell, the smoke that's happening. Again, I like it right now. I'm going to now increase the temperature. Right now it's roughly around 225. I'm going to increase the temperature to roughly around 350 to 375. To control the heat, there's 2 things that you have to understand. That the coals and the heat source needs oxygen. So the oxygen will come from the bottom and it'll go out the top. So what's happening is you have your vent on the bottom. So by controlling how much air you allowed in to ignite your charcoal and your wood, gives you the heat. Okay, it gets your coals hotter. What you let go also creates that vacuum to create that energy in the heat source itself. So what I've done is I basically open up the bottom It's roughly around, I'd say, in the totality of the whole vent itself, 10%. And here you can see the holes are exactly open all the way up. There's also this here where it can let a little bit more oxygen in as far as drawing in from the bottom. And I don't need to do that at this point. I'll just leave that open. I'll control from the bottom, and then I will control from the top also. And the heat is coming on nicely. Okay, my timer has come off. You can see that 165. As we always say, when you are cooking chicken or poultry or anything else, you have to make sure that you have the internal temperature at the right temperature, and that's 165 Fahrenheit. So again, you can see that I have the probe, but the probe went right into the joint itself. You can see the color, the legs, the skin's coming off the legs a little wee bit, and exactly where I want this. Okay, so I'm going to take that off. We'll try this at home. I'm going to try this leg over here just to make sure and see where it's at. And that one there says 146, 142. Making sure that I get that in there. Hot, 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 hot. Again, double checking to make sure. Again, here it says it's a little bit also. What I'm looking for also is see if the joints are loose. The joints don't seem to be loose here either. So again, I'm going to put it in this leg over here to see where I'm at. And just by the feel of it, I can see that these are still not loose enough, the joints itself. Okay, they should be almost falling off. Okay, so that's in this reading here, it's at 153. So I'm going to give it another half an hour. I'm going to leave that in that one and come back and check that in a bit. Okay, back it goes down. Right now the temperature was roughly around 375. Okay, now I have actually moved the chickens around. I moved them around so that the breast wasn't here. Again, I've checked all three of them, and they all have posted 165 by right in the joint, right by the leg itself. That's where I want to go. Okay, so again, everything looks good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take them off. You can see the skin. It's nice and tight. Remember, we brined this, so it's going to be a little bit more plump. The legs itself, the skin's pulling off the meat itself. That's fine too. I can deal with that. I'm going to take these off, and I'm going to put them on a platter, and I'm going to let them rest for at least half an hour. So that way there, I'm going to shrink wrap them or vacuum pack them into packages to take to lovely family members. So this is Chef Tim Belanger. Happy cooking.